Welcome everybody to our first communal dinner, and this is in honour of Kaley Chu, but today we're just going to introduce one person first because it's also another birthday of two very special people in our group. One is Jeremy Silk Roads Corbett and the other is Di. And just while we're getting this, Jeremy, if you'd like to come up and have a quick hello about Silk Roads. It's been an amazing transformation because it was only about 12 months ago that I came to Lenny's place and we were talking about food shortages. And there was this fellow in the back with a little 1-year-old girl saying nothing, doing nothing, just quietly in the background. And then just after that, he started talking about this idea of Silk Road. So I'll pass you over to Jeremy. Big hand for Jeremy.
Thank you, everybody, just for coming today. It's a really big day for me, and with what we've been trying to do and achieve for the past year, I think we've come really far in our goal to, live in a more sustainable community here and help other people do the same thing. And yeah, I'd just keep it brief and short, and I'd thank you, all the core people and just everyone, but people like Rick and Joseph, and I'll probably miss someone if I try to name too many people, but there's just so many core people, like with Joseph with the gardens and Sue, and just core people who do what calls to them, and just following that. And yeah, thank you.
He came into our life. It was about a month ago that Jeremy went to the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival, and Corda just started talking to Kaley about where they were each at and the interest they had in each other. So Kaley then, we had a quick Zoom and invited us down to listen to one of her lunches in the city. And that was only 2 weeks ago, where she actually had 100 guests there celebrating her book, Lunch with 100 Strangers. And it was very interesting because we thought, well, I don't know Kaley, I don't know anything about where she is or whatever, but the connections were amazing because who knows BK's cafe just down here? It's only a little place in Traff. Kaley said, well, where are you from? I said, Traff. He said, and then she had a fellow called John, and John was the fellow that was actually helping Kaley in her time. And she said, well, you might know this person. And I didn't know him. He said, there's someone from Warrigal called Simon. So anyway, that was my lunch date on that day with Simon. And his name was Simon Rabel from Warrigal, which I hadn't heard, but I said, is your brother Anthony Rabel by any chance? Who I do know, who's a real estate agent there. And I thought, well, this is quite a coincidence because he was part of the Rabel family and his father was my doctor in Matoa, where I was brought up, which is a tiny little town of only 500 people. So all the coincidences of that happening. And then John, who is Kaley's mentor, he said, have you heard of BK? And I said, of course, well, everyone knows BK in Traff. He's sort of a local identity. And it was actually Kaley's mentor that travelled with BK over to Cambodia to get the early investors for his little hamburger chain. So, and the amazing thing is, where did Kaley stay last night? At BK's Airbnb, 2 doors down. So anyway, without any more to do, I'd like to put your hand together for Kaley. She's got an amazing story. Kaley, come on down.
Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you for the lovely introduction. It's such a small world, isn't it? Like, we all know each other and somehow we still connected. That's how I feel as well. I used to feel very lonely and lacking connection, lacking confidence. But now I feel like the world is much bigger than I thought, and we can all connect with each other. And that's why I love to share my story with you all today, the 100 lunches story, like my grandma. Very modern. We don't have a clicker, so we're using the mouse. Let's start with a little game, shall we? Because today feels like it's a birthday party, so I thought we can do something a little bit more fun. Yay, let's play a little game. I just made that last night, can you tell? I was copying Where's Wally. So where's Kaley? Ta-da! That's my kindergarten graduation photo. Where's Kaley? Can anyone see? It's a little bit hard to see, I know. And also because I was so comfortable in there. I was in Hong Kong when I grew up, and everyone looked kind of similar. So I was very comfortable in my little, country, hometown, and happy. And I've got a question. Oh, by the way, that's me. Yay. When you were 5 years old, what did you want to be when you grow up? Anyone wants to share? Anyone remember when you were 5 years old, what did you want to be when you grow up? Your hands up. What did you want to be, Aiden?
A firefighter.
A firefighter. That's great. Anyone remember what you want to be when you were 5? Yes?
A truck driver.
A truck driver. Are you a truck driver now?
Not at all, no.
I remember when I was 5 years old, my mum asked me that question, and my answer was, I want to be a good mum. I had those little dolls that I cuddle all the time. I just want to be a good mum. And that's my primary school graduation photo. Okay, the game Where's Kaley doesn't work very well, but here we go. That's me. So when you were 12 years old, what did you want to be when you grow up? Anyone remember? Yes, I heard a yes there. Yes.
I want to be a primary school teacher.
A primary school teacher, that's so nice. And what do you do now? Are you primary school teacher?
I've retired now, but no, I never was a primary school teacher. I was in banking and finance.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. I remember at that time I haven't changed. I still want to be a good mom, and that's what I want to be. And it's so hard to see. It's so dark, the photo. But that's my secondary school graduation photo, and that's me there. Again, the question is, when you were 17 years old, just graduate from high school, what did you want to be when you grow up? I remember we had to fill in a form when we graduate from high school, and everyone's got those like doctors and lawyers and accountants and engineers in the school book. I was the only one that actually put down, I want to be a good mum in the book. But as an Asian family, it doesn't really work like that. Even my mum knew that I just want to be a mum. She's like, no, you got to do something more. So at 17 years old, she sent me to Australia. She sent me to Melbourne Uni to study commerce degree, hoping that when I finish my degree, I can went back home and look after my family business. I think it took her like 10 years to forgive me that I actually didn't take over the family business and decide just to be a mum instead. Anyway, when I came from Hong Kong to Australia, I really lacked confidence. I was so scared. Anyone not born in Australia? Like any immigrants here in the room? Okay, that's great. I can see a few hands. I think you guys might be able to understand. It is actually really hard to move country in a place where, the language is different, everyone was different. You can see the photos that I shared earlier. Like, I feel very comfortable in my little hometown. But when I got to Australia, everything's different. I was so scared. And that's when I found a coping mechanism. I thought, what if I just hang out with people from Hong Kong? So this is a photo I took in Geelong after I came to Australia, for, a few months. These are all the new friends that I made. As you can see, everybody's from Hong Kong. Because I was just too scared to talk to anyone. Not that I'm racist, I promise I'm not. It's just a comfort zone thing that I was just so scared. And 4 years later, I graduated. I was very proud. Melbourne Uni, commerce degree. And as you can see, all of my friends still from Hong Kong. That was 21 years old. And next year, I couldn't wait. Have a guess where my husband's from. It's not hard to guess, right? Okay, when you're a 21-year-old, what did you want to be? Same thing. I literally cannot wait to be a mum. So a year later, 22 years old, I got married with someone from Hong Kong. And all the bridesmaids, groomsmen, everybody's from Hong Kong. And that's that. And 22 years old, got married. 24 years old, I had my first son. 27 years old, I had my second son, because that's all I want to be. And afterwards, I started to feel a little bit of struggle. Let me share one more photo with you, because I thought that was a funny one. That was my little one, Owen's first birthday. This photo was taken in Melbourne, 12 years in Australia. And as you can see, 100% of my friends still from Hong Kong. Nothing changed really, because I was so scared of getting out of my little bubble. And like I mentioned many times, all I want to be is just be a good mom. But I start to feel a little bit, I don't know how to explain that, because I keep telling my kids, hey, go do more, try new things and make new friends. But they don't do what we tell them to do. Kids copy adults' behavior. They don't do what you tell them. So I noticed that when I was in all those mums group, because I was so shy, lacking confidence, I just sitting in the corner and not talk to other mums. And because of that, I noticed that my boys were also in the corner playing by themselves instead of playing with other kids. And I feel like maybe that's time to change. I really need to do something. I want to inspire my kids, because that's not a great mom. I don't want that to be the example I'm setting for my kids. And the social expectation checklist, is anyone that knows there's such a thing? Like, you graduate from uni, get a job, get married, get a house, 2 kids and 2 dogs. So I tick them all. But have you ever felt like that's something more in you? Like, has anyone had that feeling ever, that you feel like there's a little bit more, that I feel like I can do more, that I can contribute a little bit more in life, but what is it that I wasn't sure? Like, what can I do more? And those questions start to come to my head again and again. I go, okay, what am I supposed to do? And not long after I show you that photo of my little one's first birthday, I went back to the workforce and I got a new job. The problem was 90% of my clients were not Asian, and I didn't know how to talk to them. Like, I still remember that very first meeting that I had in the boardroom, with my boss sitting next to me, with my client sitting opposite to me, that in that very important meeting that I was very well prepared. You know what happened? That 2 hours meeting? The first hour in, I have not spoken a single word. And my client asked me a question. What question that was, I don't even remember. But I remember how I replied to that question though. I said, and that's it. I don't know if anyone has have frozen in a meeting before, but that was the only noise that I made in the entire 2 hours meeting. I was really angry at myself. I was frustrated. I was humiliated. I was like, what is wrong with you, Kaley? Like, it's not that I didn't know the answer. If it was an email, I would have given him a perfect reply. I know what I needed to say. But face to face, I got nothing. Like, I couldn't even utter a single word. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, I've been in Australia for like 12 years at that time. Like, I was like, is this the life that I want? What sort of future can I expect for myself if I can't talk to, 70% of the population in Australia? And more importantly, what sort of example am I setting up for my kids that if I just couldn't talk to people? And that was the day that actually changed my life, because that's the day that I decided that I want to have 100 lunches with 100 strangers. I thought, if I could have lunch with 100 strangers, then surely I can talk to people after, right? As you saw me today, yes, I can't stop talking to people, which is great. But also, what I learned is that, wow, this is actually a life-changing experience, that I got so much out of it. I had lunch from, with people from, students to CEOs, from young kids to retirees and all the ones in between. And I purposely meet people from different background, cultural background, different industry, and just hear their stories. And I've learned so much from them. So throughout the journey of finding my confidence, I've got so many stories to share, and I can't wait to share with you all. As an immigrant, the first task that I thought I would do is to learn more about the culture and trying to fit in. Listen to people's story and try to pretend to be one of them, one of you guys, learn about AFLs and stuff. But then I realized, after talking to 100 people, I realized that I can't fit in even if I try, because everybody's unique. Everybody's different. There are things that I do better than you, there are things that you do better than me, and there's no point to even compare. And I got that message really strongly when I went to have lunch with someone that I had so much respect from. He's like a chairman of a listed company, which was a really interesting lunch because, he was so successful in business. I think he sold his business for, I don't know, like a 9-figure, something crazy, big number. And I went to have lunch with him, and then I took my notepad and, a pen. I wanted to get some investment tips from him, business tips from him. But when I, got to the lunch and I sat down, and he looks obviously not very happy. I'm like, oh, what happened? Are you okay? And then he said, I had a fight with my girlfriend last night, and we kind of broke up, and, I'm not very happy. I'm really good with business, but I'm hopeless with girls and women. And you're a woman, talk to me, tell me, what should I do in that case? So he was sharing about all his story about the girl, and then I gave him ideas. Okay, as a woman, this is what I think, maybe this is what you should do. And he was the one that taking notes, for real. He took lots of notes, and he, go, okay, that's great, sounds good, let me do it. And then the next day, he sent me a text message saying that, thank you so much, Kaley, I got my girlfriend back, I'm so happy. And after that, I think a few weeks later, it was my book launch. And he took his girlfriend to my book launch. And he went on the stage and he shared that story on the stage and go, wow, we can all learn from each other. It's not about, the social status or anything. There's something that we can learn from each stranger. In this case, he learned how to get his girlfriend back from me. And because of that, he came to my book launch because at that time I was raising funds for a charity to restore eyesight for people in the third world country. And he said, I'm so grateful for this connection that I didn't expect. Because of that, he was pledging 100 surgeries to help restore eyesight for people. I'm like, who would expect that? A lunch, one thing led to another, and now because of that, he was donating 100 surgeries. And I'm like, this is so beautiful. So what I want to share is, we don't need to be worried about us. We can just be authentically us and don't need to worry about the judgment and things, because we are enough, and there's something that we can all learn from each other. And few months into my lunch with strangers journey, I had lunch with a billionaire. And that was, again, another mind-blowing lunch. I still remember, in South Bank, one of the nicest restaurants. We had entree, lunch, dessert, and a different wine with each dish, and the lunch was just amazing. But the conversation was even better. I remember he sharing with me how he started more than 30 different companies and businesses, and few of them were really successful, and one got him to where he is today. And after that, he looked at me and he said, Kaley, so what's your goal? What do you want to do? And I'm like, just pay the bills, get a promotion in the company, live happily ever after. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good answer for like a job interview, but for a live interview, I can see the disappointment in his eyes. And few seconds later, and he looked at me right into my eyes, and he said, Kaley, Have you ever been curious what your full potential is? Or what you described just now is the best that you can do? And I was just speechless at that time because I've never thought of my full potential. I was just living day by day, playing Candy Crush, go home, doing a few things. I've never thought about what can I do really with my life. And after that, I start to think about, okay, maybe he's right. What if I have been underestimating my potential my entire life? Maybe there's more in me that I can give and help other people. Maybe I can do better and I can do more. And since then, my life really changed and I started to take more actions and do more things that's out of my comfort zone that I never thought was possible, that I was just so happy about and share with you all. Like, for example, I started to do a lot more public speaking and help other people to connect with each other, arranging all those lunches and get people to, hey, just connect, because you never know when's your next life-changing connection is going to be made, and let's just catch up for lunch and get other people to do lunches. And I started to do, things like TEDx. Never thought was possible. I started to help more people in those third world countries to restore their eyesight. And even just last week, we did this little celebration time because I started to help other people to build more confidence. And because I see, this is the frustrating part. I don't know if you see that again and again for people around us, that you see so much potential in those young people and all those people. They can do so much in their life, but then they just feel like they need a little bit nudge. Just go, hey, you can do this. You can do this. And just help them to build their confidence so that they can help, like a ripple effect, to help more people. And that's something that I'm just so excited to do. And that's, something that I keep helping other people to build their confidence now. That's totally my passion and I love doing what I'm doing. That's Alison here, and she said, she used to be so scared to just ask for things. She's done something amazing, which is to help girls in those developing countries, like in Thailand, to get out of the human trafficking. She said she used to be so scared to even ask for like $100 donation, but now she's just like $20,000, donate it because I can help you this and I can help that and I can help that. And she got that. She sent me an email saying that I got the 20,000 donations and I can help all those young girls to, to live a better life. And she's just so happy about it. So my question to you all is, what can we do more if we were living at our full potential? If everyone was living at their full potential, how much more we can achieve here? And just by like this lovely community here, building community, helping each other, connecting and growing and learning and helping, how much more we can achieve and how many more people we can help. The third lesson that I want to share is I used to be so scared of strangers, then I realized strangers are just opportunities, and strangers are just opportunities to learn from each other and grow together. And I love to share one very interesting lunch with you all today, and I think you probably can all recognize him. Does everyone know him? He's got a message for you all today.
If you don't go to lunch with Kaley, well, you're a bad person.
Okay, his message is a bit longer than that, but I thought that was the funny part. He was so nice. Completely sidetracked, but I remember, as an Asian woman driver, I don't know, when I got, went to Macedon to meet him, I bumped my car somewhere and then my bumper fell off. I don't know how I did that, but it just happened. And instead of like most people, they will be like, just go, hey, call roadside assistant or something. He actually went to little news agents and got a pack of duct tape and just with his bare hands and just duct tape my car so that I can got home safe on that day. That was just so beautiful. And then when he finished, his hands were like completely black from fingertip to here. And I'm like, wow, that's someone that's supposed to be like a celebrity star, and then he's just doing that. Anyway, I've learned so much from all these people, but what I learned from him was something I totally unexpected. I thought, wow, having lunch with like a movie star, I might hear some celebrity gossips, yay. But no, we didn't talk anything about that. Instead, he asked me lots of deep questions about my family, and he asked about, the relationship between all my families. And I told him that, I was so naughty when I was little and my parents kind of gave up on me, and that's why I've got a brother who's 14 years younger than me, because, my parents thought they could try again. As a joke, I thought, I say that to a few people when people ask me, why do you have like such a big age gap between me and my brother? But he took it kind of semi-seriously, and he go, is that true? What happened at that time? How's your relationship with your parents? How's your relationship with your brother? And all those deep questions. And then somehow throughout the conversation, I told him that I've never said I love you to my mum, ever. Because, I don't know, the cultural thing, or it's just something that we don't used to say. And he's like, Kaley, in movie, we love to bring people's emotion, make people cry. And one thing it worked again and again is unable to express love before your loved one pass away, and I never want that to happen to you. So I want to give you a challenge today. I want you to say I love you to your mum as a challenge. I'm like, okay, I can't say no to that. But I don't know about you, I think, Australian culture is a lot more open and more easier to express love, maybe. Asian, we never ever said that to anyone. It's like, this is my comfort zone, and this is jumping out of the plane, and this is public speaking, and that is saying I love you to my parents. Like, it was so scary for me. I promised, I did it. It was almost like a marriage proposal, and I made it such a big deal. It was on Mother's Day, and I said lots of nice things to her. I expected her to cry, but instead she's just laughing the whole time. That's not very nice, but it did bring our relationship closer together after. So I'm like, wow, who would expect having lunch with, a movie star will bring the family closer together? And again, this is just one quick example that I can share with you, but I've learned so much through the journey of strangers. In fact, I haven't stopped having lunch with strangers. I know it's called 100 Lunches with Strangers. That's because that's when I start to write the book and publish the book. But I actually had lunch with, 300-400 one-on-one with a meal with strangers now, plus so many more that I can't count over the last couple of years over Zoom. Just continue to meet more strangers because, like I mentioned earlier, you never know when's your next life-changing connection is going to be made, and one connection can change your life. I just want to share with you, how one connection led to another. I didn't even plan to publish a book when I did it. When I first do the 100 Lunches journey, I thought it was just a personal challenge that I just did it for myself. But after that, I had lunch with, a stranger, and he told me, did you know that you should probably start write a book about it? I'm like, okay, how? Turned out that when I had lunch with him, I thought he was just a marketing guy, but turned out he had, he worked for a publishing house 10 years ago, and he's the one that helped me to publish the book, which I'm like, well, okay, thank you. I didn't expect that. And after the book was done, he shared the book on his own Facebook, and one of his friends saw it, and his friend said, would you like to come to our office and share your story with 3 of our mentees, because, I think they will get something out of your story. And that was my very first public speaking experience. I was freaking out. When I got there, instead of 10 people that she promised, there were like 35 people sitting in the room, but I did it. But little did I know, Michael Russell, he's the CEO of the company, was sitting at the back of the room. I'm so glad that Cheryl didn't tell me beforehand, otherwise I would be even freaking out. And then, of course, we had lunch, and then he said, Kaley, I love your story. Can you come to our national conference and share your story on the stage? And that was my first keynote speaking. And he bought 100 copies of my book and give them away to people. And I'm like, wow, thank you. And after that, because he's the CEO of the company and he loves the story, and he just picked up his phone and called other CEO friends. And they're like, I don't know who's Kaley, but if you think she's great, we'll just use her. So that's how I got to, so many different stages. And again, one connection can change your life, and you never know when's your next life-changing connection is going to be made. It can be one, lead to another, lead to another. And who else? Oh, there are just so many of them that I can't go through them all. And it's just interesting how and what happened. And for example, the middle, his name is Paul. And when I had lunch with him, I had no intention to do anything. He's just learning from each other, make a connection. But now he's helping my new startup. I know that he worked in Silicon Valley before and worked with all the startup. But I had no even business idea at that time when I met him. But now he's helping me to grow the business and finding investors and building the startup together. I'm like, that is so nice to see, what happens just by keep meeting people. And that's just a quick summary. We all unique, courage to ask for more. What would you be doing and how many more people can you help if you live at your full potential? And strangers are just opportunities. And what's one thing that you're going to implement today to connect with more strangers? Knowledge is power, but action of the knowledge is the power. I know we all know the power of connections, and that's why we're all here as a community. And what Rick's doing, you're going to have lunch with a stranger today. That's fantastic. But I want to give you one challenge today. Rick is handing out, and Jeremy handing out all these catch up with lunch cards. I just want to challenge you today just to give this out to one person that you've never met before and see what happens from there. So I would just want to share this skydiving video with you all because a lot of people ask me, how does it feel to get out of your comfort zone? And I just want to share, that's exactly how it feels like when I jump out of a perfectly good plane. I was screaming all the way up and, before I got to the sky, I was screaming. I felt sorry for other people who was in the same plane with me. So scared. But when I jumped out of the plane, the view was so beautiful and I was just so happy. And when I got to the ground, I involuntarily couldn't help myself. I was doing this, like a happy dance. And that's what I want to share with you is that if there's something that you should be doing, something that you can do, but you have, a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of fear, don't let that stop you, because instead of focusing on the fear, instead of focusing on the screaming all the way up, focusing on the happy dance, the celebration after. Why do we do what we want to do? Few giveaway, you can download all these things, bonus gifts today and action time, that's okay. Oh, by the way, I've got friends that's not from Hong Kong anymore and I'm so happy and proud. And even prouder than that, today I want to invite someone to get on the stage and do his very, very first public speaking to talk about this experience here. Just not long in July on my husband's birthday, we went to Mount Buller together. Aiden, would you like to come up and share a story?
Hi, my name is Aiden and I'm 8 years old. I believe that we can do anything. 2 months ago, we went to the snowy mountain and the mountain was very, very tall. I was a bit nervous at the start, but Mommy told me I can do anything. I went up the chairlift and I was a bit nervous, but at the end I did it and I went down. I fell many times, but I got back up and I kept skiing. I went up the mountain and I skied down 7 times. I love skiing and I'm very proud of myself. I can do anything. I believe we can do anything.
Well done. Yay. I'm so proud of you, Aiden. Don't run away. So that's how I want to wrap up today is, one connection can change your life, and I hope that we can all inspire other people, inspire the younger generation, that we can do anything and we can change our destiny. Thank you. Yes, happy to answer any questions if anyone's got anything. Yes.
How did you pick who you had your first 100 lunches with?
Oh, thank you for asking that question. When I first started, I actually had so many rejections that I would go to lunch with anybody that said yes. I started with LinkedIn because I thought LinkedIn is a great way to, stalk them a little bit professionally before you send out the lunch invitation. I feel a bit safer there. Yeah, for the first 100, I'd say at least 95 of them was from LinkedIn, but now it's everywhere. The card that I gave you, I actually have one that's for myself is right there. I keep them in my pockets everywhere that I go. So anytime I meet someone interesting, like, Jeremy walking past in the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival, I thought, okay, this guy's interesting. Let's catch up for lunch. And I'll give him a card and just give everyone a card and let's just catch up for lunch. Yeah. And now we're building our website as well called 100lunches.com with all the like-minded people just to hop on the site and just catch up for lunch with everyone, and that's just so nice to see. Thank you.
How did you come up with the 100 Lunches concept?
We're still fighting for it. I don't know. After that boardroom meeting with my boss, we had a little performance review at that time because he's like, it can't be like that, Kaley. Like, you working in the company, in the sales team, and you got to talk to people. And somehow throughout the conversation, we thought the best way to get out of my comfort zone and build my confidence, because as a mum, we're busy. Dinner time is for family, weekends for family, and I don't know what else I can do. Lunchtime is a time that for myself that I can use that to grow and connect. And I don't know, somehow throughout the conversation we came up with that idea. He thought that's his idea. I'm sure that's mine, but we're still fighting for it. So somehow, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you.
And one thing about the lunches, the lunch they had with Simon, which is in the book there because he's one of the early ones with Kaley, when the first mention of a lunch came for Simon, he looked at it and thought, I've got this Chinese girl who's trying to stalk me. So he threw it in the bin. So the lesson is not to give up, because Kaley also did the second time and said, no, look, I'm genuinely doing this sort of thing. I'd love to have lunch with these, interesting people. So he threw it in the bin the second time. And then the third time, she started explaining more about her life and what she was trying to do. So he then said, look, I'll just meet you for coffee. And then Kaley mentioned a cafe, and he thought, I could still get done over here by some triads or something like this. So he suggested, I'll make a cafe. So they arranged to meet at his cafe, and they lunched for 3 hours on the first day. Since then, they've had another lunch. It was 2 hours. And since then, they've had a third lunch, which is 1 hour. But the amazing thing is, that has been a great story about never giving up and never thinking that there's a chance just because you've been rejected the first time. And it's like Jeremy has one dream, then he dreams again, then he dreams a third time. And what do you do the fourth time, Jeremy? Dream again. So thank you very much, and a big thanks to all the ladies too who have put a beautiful meal together. So you're very, very welcome now to go up, serve yourselves, come back, meet your new friends. So thank you once again, Kaley. Well, welcome to our lovely community lunch at the Trafalgar Community Centre. So I'll just walk you through here, just come and follow me, and we'll see some fantastic people here talking about all sorts of things. So what did you find about the talk today?
She's actually shown me and given me some motivation to actually get off my ass and stop being in the comfort zone.
There's Joe, yeah. Comfort zone Croac.
Yeah, which I have been in for a while.
All right, here's the hall. Excuse me, ladies. Heather, what did you like about the talk?
Hi. I just think I like the idea of her, how every encounter that she had was a new opportunity to bring about her own personal growth.
Yes.
So facing her fears, and out of that, it made her a much richer person.
Fabulous.
So, and I think it was encouraging that we can all perhaps take those steps.
Good. We can all take a leaf out of her book. Thank you very much. Now, for those who love bagpipes, we don't have too many bagpipe players in here.
No, Rick, you misheard me. I said I found a bag in the pipes.
He's a comedian. I've listened to him. He is sensational. For anybody who wants to book a bagpipe player.
No bagpipe.
No bagpipe. So how did you enjoy the talk, Tom?
It was very good, very good.
What did you like about it?
The lunch.
So if there was no talk, you'd be very happy with just a nice lunch.
No, it was a good topic. Yes, it was actually quite. The way you did this was very good. Make people separate and talk to each other.
And what about the person who came at the end of the talk and just put a microphone in front of your face?
Yeah, well, that could be done a bit better, I suppose.
What did you enjoy about the talk?
The reinforcement of the statement, you can and be anything you want to be.
And never give up.
Absolutely.
Well, I enjoyed hearing Kaley's wide range of getting out of her comfort zone and learning to learn all different people's pasts and cultures and understanding one another better.
Fantastic. And you, sir?
Yeah, I enjoyed her speech. I feel that I probably myself need to get out of my comfort zone more often than what I do. And coming here is one of those things, so it's been enjoyable.
Is getting out of your comfort zone, having a microphone put in front of your face?
Yeah, I think most people would think that.
It is, that's right.
Oh, it's just a great concept, just to connect with people. I think we all feel so disconnected, and to have, strategies and ideas on how to create a connection is great.
I just enjoyed meeting new people.
Good.
Yeah, making new connections. Because
you haven't met Jeremy or myself before?
No.
No. Pleasure to meet you both.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Oh, no.
You didn't escape. How did you enjoy today?
Oh, absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Did you like the food? Did you like the talk? Did you like the people?
I loved everything.
Fabulous.
Yeah, loved everything.
You're a perfect person there. Right next to you is Columbina, and she was hoping to get out, and she missed out.
I was hoping.
This is Columbina. Hello. What did you enjoy about today?
I think just meeting strangers, people I didn't know who are now friends.
Isn't that lovely?
It's been brilliant. I've had a lovely time.
Oh, fabulous.
Isn't a really great time.
Isn't she such a natural speaker?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
loved hearing her stories.
Good.
Yes, I'm inspired.
Hello. We have
Eloma.
Eloma is the mother?
Mother of Rondi.
Rondi, way down there. How did you go being separated from your daughter? Because we separated you coming in.
I met such lovely people since.
Oh, so there was a good thing there.
Very good. I met lots of lovely people. I was surrounded by lovely people.
And how did you enjoy Kaley's talk?
Yeah, it was very informative and very inspirational.
That's lovely.
It was lovely. It was really good. And it's funny with your ticket saying that I sat next to my husband. So he was really relieved about that. But yeah, and the talk was great. I loved it, and we'll take stuff from it. And I was just saying that we needed to meet because she's just given me some ideas for my husband's knees.
Oh, isn't it fantastic?
So it's been a great positive room to
and
be
isn't
in.
it great to be back in these little community halls,
Yes.
which are almost being empty now because people don't use them because they don't come
There's
together
no
as
sense of community. Yeah.
So we're
rebuilding it.
Yes, these little communities.
No, it's
So
lovely. It's
fabulous.
people like yourself. And thank you.
I think I can.
I read your website. That's how I ended up being here. I watched the interview with Michael from Cafe Locked Out, and about you, and that led me to come today.
Fantastic.
Otherwise, we were going to go for a bike ride down at Leongatha, so we chose to come here instead. So thank you all for organising it. It was great.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Here we have a rock star who you won the raffle, didn't you?
I won it twice, and I wanted to give it back to Aiden because he did a really good speech, and I think that was encouraging. So for an 8-year-old, he's already a superstar.
Okay, and what about Aiden's mum? Did you like that talk?
Loved it. I mean, I was shy when I was a kid too, so just to get out of the shell, out of your comfort zone, and to see her on stage doing public speaking, it gives you confidence. So I bought some books. I'm going to give them to my nieces. And so at that age group, if they can learn to be confident and to get out of their comfort zone, then I think tick all the way. So she's a very inspiring speaker.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and you've done a good job too.
Well, it's inspiring, isn't it, really, that somebody out of nothing decides to go on 100 lunch dates and then more than 100 lunch dates. But it is a key thing I do say. Take every opportunity, never say no, always say yes to everything. and you'll always get opportunity.
She's our next Kaley Chu.
Yeah. Well, I'm blessed because I'm going to go on a lunch date with her.
Oh,
So yes, she already asked me. We're going to have a lunch date. Yeah. Yes.
And where are you going?
We haven't decided yet. I have to contact her after this.
And Tina, what did you think
Oh,
about
I thought it was very inspirational.
it? Beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, very inspiring.
That's good.
Because I'm a bit more of an introvert as well, so it was
Yes.
amazing to see what's possible.
Fabulous.
And living up to your potential.
I loved her son. I thought that was amazing.
Oh, the whole thing inspiring. You know, I'm one of those people too. I can't get up on stage and, you know, start talking to people. I get really scared, so I think it's fantastic. Good on them all.
You're a natural behind the mic.
Well, but up on stage staring at people and they're all staring at you, you know, you think, oh.
So here we have Noel Blundell. He is very famous man, Yallourn North. He's turning Yallourn North upside down and hopefully the rest of Gippsland. Noel, how did you enjoy today's talk?
It was wonderful, actually. I had a really good time. Got to speak with a lot of people. I've already been invited out to lunch once. Can't wait. It was really good. Kaley's speech was fantastic. The food was wonderful. The atmosphere is wonderful. And we're very lucky and privileged to be invited. Thank you very much. And happy birthday to Silk Road. And thank you to the Traff Common Law Group. That's what I think.
That's fantastic. And his lovely wife, Meg.
I thought it was really fantastic. I got a lot out of it and we met some really lovely people and I think everyone here's had a really great time. It's been wonderful.
Fantastic.
I loved it, Rick. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I loved Kaley's story. A lot of it resonated with me, and yeah, I can honestly vouch for that statement that one connection can actually take you so many places. So I loved it.
I love how we were given a raffle ticket on where to sit, so we were all mingled already and already connecting.
Just the fact that she was so shy to start with, and then she just gradually got her confidence up to be able to speak to billionaires and famous people and all that sort of stuff, yeah.
I liked today because I could see the parallels between having 100 lunch with strangers to stand in the park, where when we all started there, a lot of us were strangers to each other, but not for long. So it mightn't have been over a meal, but it's the connection that you get. And I think, and her stepping through, you know, not being afraid and stepping forward, I think there would have been a lot of people afraid to go to their first stand in their park on their own, but by doing it and conquering that fear, they found a whole new family.
And you're also thinking about the luncheon at the Gardens. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, yeah, I was thinking that that's a combination of things where people come together as well and can lunch and be connected. And that's what it's all about, community. So whether it's how Kaley's done it or whether how we're doing it, at the end result, it's all about community and making connections and being kind.
Wrapped it all up. We can't go any further. That's beautiful. Thank you, ladies. So we're here, sitting here with Kaley and her lovely son, Aiden, who loves speaking. Aiden, how did you enjoy the day?
It was good.
It was good. And were you scared of talking into the microphone?
No.
How did you get that confidence to speak into the microphone? Because a lot of people cannot do it.
I don't know.
Do you think it might have been your parents?
Probably.
So how did they encourage you?
I don't know.
Just by being good parents?
Yeah.
Did you know your mum's dream was to become a good mum? Do you think she's fulfilled her dream?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you, Lenny, for the lovely gifts. That's a surprise.
Yes.
So beautiful.
And how did you enjoy coming down to little old Trafalgar?
I love it so much. I was so impressed because I'm always around the city and I feel like the whole vibe is different. Like when you go to a city networking events, when we say the events are at 11, most people turn up 11:15 or even 11:30. But I got here today on time and I realized that like half the people already here. Like people just want to come and help because they're part of the community, and I saw people like working in the kitchen and just contributing and helping, and I don't know, I just feel like so warm and like this is something that we love, and connecting with people in a community just so beautiful to watch.
Beautiful, and that's what it is. It's community. We've got a fellow here that you must meet. This is the back of the person you must meet, and this is the front. This is Sean, who has had a city change. He's seen the bright lights of the city, aren't worth following. He decided to make a sea change out to the country. Tell us about it, Sean.
We love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, it's been good. I came here to get around real people, get some real skills, and it's all working out well. Luckily, I'm in a group like this. It's been amazing. We love it. Our kids have settled in well. We've settled in well. Love Gippsland.
And what new skills have you learned?
Skills. Well, I'm spending a lot of time in the veggie garden, growing my own veggies, learning about being self-sustainable, which has been amazing. So, and I'm stealing other people's skills they've got. So it's been good. Love it.
And how did you enjoy today's talk?
Oh, it's great. It's funny because I actually listened to her TED Talk online last night. And so I did know a little bit about her, but I think it's such a good concept. Simple thing everyone can do. Just go and meet people.
Yes.
Yeah, simple. You know, I feel like I've always done that, but to make a concerted effort to go and meet as many people as you can, have a conversation, life can change pretty quickly.
It is. And life's changed there in 1 year of Silk Road. Before that, we're all doing our own little thing, and now it's a community in a tiny little town of Traff. We've all come here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing how many people I know. Like, I came here knowing nobody. I walk around Warragul now and I'm waving to everyone in the street, like, hey, and it's great. And I think everyone needs that. You've got to have a community around you.
Yes.
Now, coming from Melbourne, I was surrounded by a lot of people, but there was no community. So luckily we've made the choice to come here, and I'm in a massive community now, and we've got each other's back. It's all great. Love it.
And we love having you here too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Right.
Okay, here we have some younger blokes of the community. So, how did you guys enjoy today's talk?
I found it very, very close to home. It hit close to home because of my parents' background, actually, who came to Australia as migrants back in '95, travelling all the way from Croatia. And we had a lot of associates, actually, when they came here, that had actually gone through a similar pathway, down a similar pathway to Kaley herself, associating mainly with Croatians. And from my perspective, I could see that it was very easy to live that way, in that comfort, and not broaden your perspectives. Yeah.
There's safety staying in the bubble.
Precisely.
Absolutely. However, there's great freedom, great liberty, and there's like a newfound life once you get out of that bubble, if you can be encouraged to, and that's, I think, what Kaley's dream was.
That's right. It's liberating.
Yes.
Liberating to be able to move freely between spaces and into other people's lives with such ease.
Beautiful. Now, I've just spoken to your dad, the bagpipe player.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's very keen to play more bagpipes. What musical instrument do you play?
Banjo.
Banjo. Fantastic. Now, what did you enjoy about today's talk?
I enjoyed it. It's informative. It opens your mind up to opportunities and possibilities.
And she's incredibly relaxed when she speaks.
Yeah. Whereas it's pretty stark contrast to me. As of right now, I'm pretty tense. So it's a learning lesson from her.
It is. Next week, she's going to Sydney to talk to 1,000 people.
Okay, well, I won't be there. It's a bit far for me, but no, good on her. I think she's done a lot of good work. She's helping people grow, helping people understand themselves a bit better. And to kind of correlate her point, I think everyone does have something to teach you. You have to treat everyone as if they have something to teach you.
And James, that was well said and brilliant. You're a natural behind the mic.
Sure.
Every town has their jet set, and here's the jet sets from Warragul. How did you enjoy today's talk?
Oh, it was amazing to listen to hear her story, just being here, just meeting. I've met so many people, wonderful people.
Fantastic.
I'm so glad I came.
Good. Now, you're also of Asian descent. Can you relate with some of Kaley's talk?
I can, yes. I was very shy growing up.
Yes.
I can relate to, a lot of things that she was saying. And it's not until you do step out of your comfort zone and start meeting other people, it's amazing how much it gives you, you know, your confidence to just, enjoy life.
Well, it was lovely to have you here today.
Thank you so much.
And of
I've
course,
enjoyed being here.
part of the jet set of Warrigal is we have some movie stars. She's been in so many movies. What was your last movie?
Gone with the Wind.
And that should be coming out in 1954. Get ready for it, everybody. And what part did you play?
I can't remember the movie.
How did you enjoy today's talk?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was really good. I actually had to watch it from the room, the kitchen.
Okay, so you'll...
But yeah, no, it was really good.
Good.
It was a lovely day.
That's good.
Very inspiring.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Any messages for your cousin, Kim, from Pakenham?
She just needs to get her shit together.
So here we are at the end of our lovely talk with Kaley Chu at the little community centre. And what we're hoping to do is bring life back into the community centres by getting people together with a common interest and bringing more life back in there, and everyone benefits. Let me walk you into the centre. As you can see, these are beautiful old buildings, and this is where we had our talk today. So we had about nearly 100 people today. Catering was beautiful, we had a raffle, and it was also the celebration of Silk Road's first birthday. So that was the end today of our community centre. We look forward to more functions here where we can grow as a community, get to know each other, also to have relaxed and have fun together. Thank you very much. We look forward to our next one. See you, Sean. See you, Chelsea.
So we're all wrapped up, nearly finished here. I'm pretty much the last one in the building, and I just think, look at this to what it was earlier today, and I want you to think about your local town hall and what that looks like for you and your community now. Is it being utilised? Do you have a town hall? What's happening in your community? Look at this space. It was used for its purpose today.